AFTV Picks have gone and done it again. This week for the Arsenal versus Manchester City game, we are giving away an Xbox Series X. Free. Yeah, free. Also, you can win yourself up to £1,000. All you got to do is enter AFTV Picks, make your selections, and the Xbox, and up to £1,000 can be yours. You've got to be over 18 to enter, and the link is in the description. So click on it now, don't hesitate, and win yourself an Xbox Series X. Hi, and welcome along to AFTV Picks. Can't be bad, can it? An Xbox Series X. All you got to do is enter the competition. Link in the description. As I said, you've got to be over 18 to enter, right? And you can enter right now, and up to a share of £1,000, and the Xbox can be yours. Now, welcome along to AFTV Picks. We got a special one today because we've got an Oppo in the house. So when I say Oppo, I've got an Op, right? It's Stephen Mckerney of Esteemed Kompany, big Manchester City fan, of course, with a great Man City channel. Welcome along, Steve.
Hello, man. It's good to be on. It's good to be on. Looking forward to it.
Great to have you back. And of course, we've got James in the house as well. How you doing, James?
Yeah, good, thanks. Good. How you doing?
Great. James, introducing you to Steve. Steve, unfortunately, right, I'm just thinking about it the other day, and I was like, I never get one over this guy, man. We play these guys, Man City, they always beat us. Apart from the FA Cup. That was the only time. The FA Cup. Every time.
You had to have one eventually, man. You had to have one eventually. But yeah, no, it's like honestly, like something about Man City and Arsenal at the moment. It's like just it feels like 3 goals are a given. Obviously, that's not going to happen, but that's what it feels like, you know. Like, yeah, long may it continue from my side. It's been good fun, but that's what makes me think maybe it won't. Maybe it won't. Who knows? Who knows, man?
Well, listen, you guys have been on an incredible run. Was it 17 games in a row? I mean, that's ridiculous.
Yeah, it's absolute nonsense in a way, to be honest, man. But I've loved it. It's weird. It's weird because of how we started the season as well. Like, genuinely, people were saying Pep's going to be out. You know, City have done it. That's the end of the cycle. And then out of nowhere, like I was always defending Pep and thought he'd get it right eventually, but not this right. You know, not like to this level, which is just genuinely insane levels of consistency. But that's what Guardiola does, man. He's ultra organized. He's ultra focused. He makes the players work and never take their eye off the ball. And but this winning run is just like we've gone from challenging for the top 4 to potentially running away from the Premier League, like 10 points clear, and it's still in every competition. Things are very good. It could change like that, but things are very, very good. And it's weird because we've got to the point now where our fans are just upset if we concede a goal, you know, which is just bizarre. But like the other day, people were having a breakdown because we conceded against Everton. I was like, it's Everton. It's Everton, man. They're a good side, but we were like not used to that. So things are surreal, but I'm not complaining.
Yeah, well, it's like a dream, isn't it? Any James, listen to this. You know what I mean? Compared to our season so far, are you hearing? Jesus Christ.
I was happy to climb to 10th the other day. Thinking, wow, things are looking up, aren't they?
I remember being happy about 10th win in a row as well. That was a good time.
Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Oh, God. Can I leave? This is depressing.
And then,
mate, honestly, you never know. You never know.
The other thing that I noticed, right, just in time for our game, De Bruyne's back.
It's almost unfair, isn't it? It genuinely is almost unfair. Gundogan's back from injury now as well, apparently. So, so we are, yeah, Gundogan's back as well. So Gundogan and De Bruyne are both back, and Sergio is going to be probably back. I don't think he'll start a go, but like, yeah, our squad's getting stronger again because players come back from injury, and I don't know if De Bruyne will start because I mean what we've been doing works so well with Bernardo and Gundogan, but you know, it's a hell of an option to have, and he usually turns up after an injury and does his annual Etihad Emirates masterclass, doesn't he? So it's good having him back. He's Kevin De Bruyne, and he looked sharp the other day when he came on against Everton as well. So that's massive for us because we've got basically a bunch of games now where if we get through these, I can't really see any challenges for the title. We've got about 3 or 4 more games that I'm concerned about in the Premier League. And after that, it looks like a relatively easy running.
Well, listen, when I think about it, how are you guys going to? How do you think you're going to? I mean, you got an unbelievable squad, but how do you think you're going to approach this game against Arsenal? Because you do have that game against Borussia Mönchengladbach, and we do know that the one area where City have fallen down on over the years is the Champions League. You don't have the one with the big ears. That's the one that you're really chasing down. You know, will you think Pep? Do you think you'll hold back some players for that because you've got that game? That's a huge. I mean, even though you're expected to beat Mönchengladbach, that is a huge game.
To be honest, like there's a feeling among City fans. We don't know how true it's going to be, but like we always felt like we were slipping up in the Champions League because of just a lack of organisation. You know, like silly mistakes. And the one thing City seems to have changed this year is that we're just dead focused and dead organised. And Ruben Diaz has been a big part of that. Like this partnership with Diaz and Stones is it's rock solid, absolutely rock solid. And I feel that bit of experience and almost like pragmatism, I guess, might really help us in the Champions League. But we don't really, obviously, I actually believe Guardiola when he's saying he's not fully thinking about it yet. Of course, he's thinking about it, you know, broadly speaking. But I do think we'll play a strong team against you guys. And I think, to be honest, we've got enough days in between it where I think we'll play a strongish team against them as well. So I suspect a few changes. But then, I mean, as you're saying, the changes might be that De Bruyne starts against Mönchengladbach as opposed to against Arsenal, which is not bad, you know, and it might be that Laporte plays instead of Stones or something like that. So it's not too bad, you know, like, or Walker plays instead of Zinchenko or something, you know. So there'll be a few changes. And to be honest, he will have half an eye on Mönchengladbach, but I'm expecting he'll take this very seriously because it's all, you know, master and apprentice with Arteta and Guardiola. So I reckon he'll play a very strong team for this, a really strong team. And it's obviously as well, it's only part one, you know, of a two-legged affair against Mönchengladbach. So I think he'll play a strong team against Arsenal and a pretty strong team, maybe with a player or two. Maybe he won't rest anyone. Maybe he'll just go for it. I wouldn't be surprised either because after that, we've got, let's forget the fixture up again. We've got West Ham at the weekend, which, you know, it's a West Ham at home. It's a hard game, but it's probably, I would say, it's less of a focus than Arsenal and Mönchengladbach personally. Even though obviously West Ham are above using the table, I think at the moment I would say Guardiola will take these two more seriously. So maybe one or two players will be rested, but I wouldn't say it'd be massive changes.
Imagine being so good that you don't need to rush De Bruyne back.
Yeah, it's. Joe, I won't ever feel guilty apologise for it because I've seen the shit. Trust me. Like right now, all I can do is just grin and enjoy it, and like it's almost unfair. I'm aware of that, but like I tell you what, that's what happens when you've got with the money we've got, and also the best like super club manager in the world. You say what you want about Guardiola, but spending money ain't easy, and we know that, and you know that as well. Like he's no guarantee spending money, but what Pep does, he doesn't really miss. You know, he rarely misses. So we've got just. A guy who's like a savant, man. He's absolutely obsessed with football, and he makes us organised. He makes us focused, and I've got to give the players credit, man. It's so hard to do that, especially in this world that we're all living in. You know, those players will be bored out of their minds like the rest of us. You know, and like to be that focused constantly and turn up and win that many games. It's impressive. It's really goddamn impressive. And I know obviously people don't want to give City too much credit because the money, and I'm not denying that's a big part of it. And Guardiola wouldn't either. But I mean, the intense focus and professionalism. Like, these players are just. They are genuinely world-class professionals in terms of the commitment to the game. And yeah, the squad that we've got is ridiculous. But it's organised, and to be honest, there's no real place for anyone who isn't fully committed to it. And I think we've seen that, like with people like Sane as well and stuff like that. And it's a good time to be a Man City fan. Very good time.
Yeah, well, you know, I'm hoping they're going to be bored of winning. You're saying it, right?
Yeah.
It's like they get bored of winning at the weekend, and right, we can be that team that stops that winning run. Now listen, I'm going to
at some point.
I'm going to dive into it for this week, right? Our picks. One of them was, will Arsenal score in the second half of the game? And I said yes. James, what do you reckon?
Yeah, looking at the stats, should we go through them really quickly? I think if Arsenal are going to score a goal, it's more likely going to be in the second half. If you look at sort of when we score our goals, there's nothing in it. 15 in the first half, 16 in the second half in the Premier League. So there's nothing really in it with that. But it's more with City that's quite interesting. 9 of the 15 goals conceded in the league. And let's just reiterate, that's only 15 goals conceded in the league, which is so impressive.
5 against Leicester as well, which is...
It's incredible. But, you know, 9 of them came in the second half. So... I'm really scraping here. Is there something you're talking about focus? Is there something in maybe they slightly lose it towards the end? Probably not. Probably not. But I've got to have hope here.
Yeah, I don't think we'll concede in the second half, mainly because I think like we've had that against Liverpool and Everton. I think they'll be really on it. I mean, we might concede full stop, because obviously there's always a chance and you got good players in that. But I don't know. I feel like there was a couple of defensive mistakes against Everton, and I think if it hadn't happened already, maybe. But I feel like because it's happened recently, well, I think we'll be really, really switched on. So I'm going to say we'll keep a clean sheet in the second half, personally.
Yeah. Okay. The other one I've gone for is how many saves will Leno make? I've gone for 4.
Yeah,
we don't actually have loads and loads of shots. See, what I've noticed about this team is that we kind of we create good chances as opposed to, like peppering the goal. We're not one of those teams who will like have 25 shots and goal or anything like that. We're like a 10-15 kind of shot kind of side and then create it. So I reckon 4 is a pretty good bet, actually. I reckon, man. I would say something like that. I wouldn't be surprised if you had about 11, 12 shots, a few of them wide, maybe a couple going hopefully, and then a few saves. I'll go say 5.
So stats are backing up everything you say there, because you're right. You've had 371 shots in the league this season, which is an average of 15.5 per game. So you're right. It's not in the high, it's not around the 20s mark, with 5.7 per game on target.
So the next one I'm going to go with is how many assists will Martin Odegaard make? And it's going to be really interesting. Steve is laughing, right? But listen, Odegaards are sort of at the moment.
He's quality, mate. He's quality. He's a quality player. Just like how many he's like. Well, I'm hoping 0, obviously, but he's a quality player. I really like Odegaard, genuinely. I absolutely love him. I think he's an absolute baller. You got yourself a good player there, but I'm hoping 0 for obvious reasons. I mean, if it comes from somewhere, it could be. Put it this way: you're going to get an assist. It'll be him, like almost certainly. Yeah. But I'm hoping 0.
I've gone for 1 because I saw some really good signs of him the other night, James, in the Europa League. So I've gone for 1. What do you reckon?
He looked very neat. He was breaking the lines. I mean, he was playing like a very typical number 10, getting the ball in central areas, threading it through to Saka, Aubameyang, Ceballos, just lovely feet. Like it was encouraging. But how many will he get against City? Look, I mean, we've spoken about their defensive record. It's unbelievable. They average 0.6 goals conceded per game. So, it's a tall ask to even score, let alone for it to be Odegaard who assists it. And then is even going to play. I mean, that's the other thing, because Arteta might think it's City, let's go to a back 3. He might think Benfica is more important. Let's rest Odegaard. Maybe we bring in El Neni and we put like a more.
See, this is it, right? This is it. And I did a podcast about this. I've done a couple of videos already, and I said this. This is what I don't want to see happen, yeah? I've been watching some games recently with City, and I see too many teams lay down and die. I watched me and Steve over on the Don Robbie channel last week. We watched the game. Yeah, he is happy days with him. We watched that game. We watched that game with Tottenham against City. And what do I keep saying, Steve? Right? Tottenham, they've got players up front that can hurt City in Son, Harry Kane, Ndombele, and they just didn't do anything. And I think a lot of, as good as City are, and City, we know they're the best team in the league right now. But I just think that a lot of teams go into games against City with this defeatist attitude that, we're hardly going to see the ball. And, we'll let them have it. And it's just, all it is counter-attack. And I want us to be braver than that. I remember in the FA Cup, right, when we beat City in the FA Cup, remember the first goal, James? I think it's the first or second goal. When we played it out from the back and beat their press. Played about, I can't remember how many passes in there. It was brave football. That's how you beat City. You've got to be brave. You've got to be. Too many teams are just going into the game. They've got the white flag up already. Now, if I see El Neni on that pitch, the white flag's up.
Going on,
and I don't want the white flag up. We've got to go try and win the game. That's what I want to.
Basically,
I don't want to see all this bottle job football that I've seen so many teams that have recently played City do, which I saw Tottenham do last week. I mean, I don't.
The thing is, it's just hard to get past us, isn't it? It's hard to get past us because we're so organised. The thing is, like, you try and counter, and we've got Zinchenko stepping in midfield alongside Rodri, and then we got Cancelo kind of drifting in. It's like we're just immensely organised. And the problem is, like last year,
I know that, but that comes then a lot of times when you're playing the teams in Europe. I think a lot of them times when you played in the Champions League, there's been teams obviously they respect City. but I don't think they respect City as much as the Premier League teams do. Obviously, we see you play all the time, but it's almost as if the teams, they're braver against City.
I think things. I hope and think things have changed. I genuinely feel like we changed a bit this year defensively. Our structures changed a little bit because we were, and I think that the Lyon game massively burned Pep, and it should do. It should do. It was painful to watch. You know, the amount of mistakes down the channels, and I think Diaz has been a big part, an actual genuine leader, organises the team really well. And I think this whole thing where we're playing like fullbacks as an inverted midfielder just kind of stop the counter and cover that space in front of the back line. And Roger been a bit more experienced this season. I mean, you're right. There is always a chance that you can score a goal against City. It's possible. Of course it is. Everton proved it recently. Liverpool proved it recently. You know, and we've had teams like Villa give us a tough game, and Sheffield United and Brighton have as well. So Arsenal definitely have the quality to get us. You do, and like I agree with you. I wouldn't want to sit and see my team just sit and defend against as well. Reasonably so, of course. But if you've got players with actual quality, you know, you've got to be creating chances. I think it's embarrassing, like if you've got a team like Spurs. I genuinely believe it, and you don't really get a shot on goal. Like you have to. You just have to. You've got too many good players. I mean, I understand getting beat, but I don't understand not having a few shots in anger. At least, you know, you should be at least be able to force that, because City will get caught out of shape at some point. You know, obviously it's not very often because we're so organised, but there is chances to create. Any team can have a shot against anyone. You know, like it's very possible. You know, like Cheltenham, you know, had plenty of shots against us. That's the last time we were behind was Cheltenham.
Well, anyway, listen, it's competition time, right? Now, I wonder if he's going to be as good as his team is. He'd probably win this as well, knowing him, right? They're just on a roll. You know,
I'm bad at these things, man. I'm bad at these things.
Yeah, oh yeah, He's probably going to be the Pep Guardiola of the quiz, right? So how we do this? You're the first opposition fan to try this, actually. So what we put a little bit of a City flavour to it as well. We ask 6 questions, and you got 30 seconds in which to answer the 6 questions, right? If you don't know the answer to a question, pass, because we can always come back to it, because you got 30 seconds, yeah? If you get 4 questions right, you win yourself £200. Yeah? Obviously, if you don't get them right, you get 0, right? But a chance to win yourself £200, right? And I don't know. I just get the feeling they're just going to get a clean sweep of everything this weekend, right? So,
maybe not, man. Maybe not. We'll see.
Right. So are you ready? Are you ready? You got 30 seconds.
Go on then. Go on then.
Ready?
Yeah.
Right, your 30 seconds starts now. In what year did Manchester City move to the Etihad?
2003. In
what year did Yaya Toure sign for Manchester City?
2010. 2011. 2010.
What is Burnley's current league position?
Burnley's? Oh, God. I have no idea. 17th.
Who's had the most clean sheets in the Premier League this season, Edouard Mendy or Nick Pope?
I didn't hear that. I'm so sorry.
Oh, your time's run out. Anyway,
again, mate.
I'm going to ask you anyway, right? Who's had the most clean sheets this season in the Premier League, Edouard Mendy or Nick Pope?
Pope.
All right. Now, you've answered 4 questions. Yeah, you took too long to answer each question. That's what I said. You got to pass if you don't know. You run out of time. That's 31 seconds, right?
No,
but let's go through the 4 that you did answer. In what year did Manchester City move to the Etihad? You said 2003. You were correct. 2003. In what year did Yaya Toure join Manchester City? You said 2010. Then you said 2011. Then you said 20. What did you say after that?
I think I said 2010 again, but I think it is 2011. I think. I don't know.
And then you came back again. You came back again to 2010, but you wasted so much time answering the question. You did get it right. It was 2010. But you wasted. You must have wasted a good 10 seconds just answering that one question, right? And then, what is Burnley's current league position? You said 17th. It's actually 15th.
Yeah, I'd guess that one. Right. Yeah, didn't know.
And then this one, you kind of run out of time, but I asked you anyway. Who's had the most clean sheets out of these 2 players, Edouard Mendy or Nick Pope? You went for Nick Pope. It's actually Edouard Mendy of Chelsea.
Yeah, of course it's Mendy. He joined later. I don't know why I said that, to be honest, looking back.
He's had 10 clean sheets. Nick Pope's had 8. I'm going to ask you, so you obviously have one, but I'm going to ask you the other 2 questions what were going to be in it and see how you get on with this. Who's the top scorer so far in this year's Champions League?
Top scorer. I have no fucking idea. Is it like Salah or something? No, not Salah. No. Is it? Who is the top scorer?
You're going to kick yourself.
Kick myself. Is it? I'm going to kick myself. Is it a Man City player? Who could it possibly be?
It's not a Man City player.
Who is it, man? No, I don't think so. Is it Haaland?
Haaland.
Haaland, yeah, there we go, yeah.
Haaland, isn't it? That's an obvious one, isn't it?
Yeah, yeah. Right? I got it since before about Salah.
And then the final question is, what do Gabriel Martinelli and Fernandinho have in common?
I mean, they're both Brazilian, but I'm not sure it's that simple, is it?
That's it.
Is that it? Oh, yeah. There we go, yeah.
I told you there's simple questions, man.
I so should have done that. I should have done that. Like, I should have done that.
Long, man. You know what? To be fair, I had it the other day, and I did the same thing. I took too long to answer one particular question, which what throws you sometimes is that a question's so easy, right? And you think to yourself, if you don't get it straight away, you think you know the answer, and then you're just back and forth in your mind, and you're wasting.
Yeah.
But is this a sign, James? Is this a sign he missed the competition? This could be a sign for Sunday.
No.
I'm with James on this one.
I'd love it. I'd love if it was. I'd love if Steve's slip up was a sign. I mean, we've all been slipping up on picks. We're all Arsenal fans, so maybe it is a sign because we've been slipping up all season. But
I can see Steve, right? I can see he's kicking himself because he's thinking those are bloody easy, man.
Yeah.
200 quid on
Yeah, never mind. It'll be all right. I'll take
Steve,
it. I'll do.
Only like 2 people have done it out of like.
No, 3 people. We've had 3 winners.
Oh, 3. Okay.
Yeah, we've had 3 winners. So you know, but no, well done. It'd be a great sport, mate. Before we go, what's your predictions for Sunday?
I've got to say City victory 2-0. I'm going for
2-0. James?
2-0, I reckon, yeah.
I went for a 1-1.
I feel it. Yeah, clean sheet.
I think we'll nick a point. I think 1-1. I think we'll nick a point.
I went for 2-2. I said a point as well. And that's always a clear sign, right? That a player, because I've been doing this preview thing for so long. Anytime you see fans saying it's going to be a draw, that means they're thinking to themselves, no, we're actually going to I'm going to put a brave one on it and go for a draw. I'm not going to be so stupid to say we're going to win, but I'm going to put a brave one on it and go for it.
Yeah, the diplomatic draw.
You know, Man City have been class this season. Nobody can argue with that. Thanks very much for coming on. We'll try and catch up with you on Sunday. We'll try and catch up with you on Sunday after the game, possibly.
Yeah, dear man. Give me a call afterwards.
Before you go, tell everybody about your great channel.
Yeah, it's just Man City fan channel. It's called Esteemed Kompany. Terrible pun based on Vincent Kompany's name, but it's Man City news, reactions, all the usual stuff, watch-alongs, and yeah, I think it's pretty good. So go and subscribe to that. Just got to 50k, and life's going pretty good. So big up Robbie as well. Big up James.
Big up Steve, man. It is very good. So make sure you check it out. We'll put the link in the description. Thanks for watching AFTV Picks, and don't forget, get your picks in right now. Chance to win an Xbox Series X this week. You've got to be over 18 to enter. And you've got to get your picks in before the game starts. Arsenal versus Manchester City. Come on, you Gunners. AFTV Picks have gone and done it again. This week for the Arsenal versus Manchester City game, we are giving away an Xbox Series X. Free. Yeah, free. Also, you can win yourself up to £1,000. All you got to do is enter AFTV Picks, make your selections, and the Xbox, and up to £1,000 can be yours. You've got to be over 18 to enter, and the link is in the description. So click on it now, don't hesitate, and win yourself an Xbox Series X.